Some more exciting details for Alexa Bliss's return just dropped, so we'll see what those new details are about. We'll also check out what's new for Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, and more. Starting things off with Alexa Bliss, and finally a big new update on her status. The last few weeks has been a bit slow for solid Alexa Bliss news. Nothing much had come out besides the reports claiming that Alexa was set for an early 2025 return. Well, now a new report and some new information has been released coming from WrestleVotes. According to them, Alexa's highly anticipated return is just on the horizon. They claim that the creative team is allegedly working on ways right now on how to insert Alexa Bliss into active storylines and angles. Their report also claims that new merchandise for Alexa is already well underway, as well as new promotional material as well. So it's been a long time coming, literally 2 full years of discussing all different types of return theories for Alexa, just to pass time until she returns. And it looks like we're finally closing in on the return no longer being a myth and actually becoming a reality. Just lots of great information here from the report. Creative is finding ways to work her in. Merchandise and other material all being worked on. It's just nothing but great news for when it comes to Alexa's return. And if this report is true, then it really seems like they're going all in to gear up for this return. There's no solid word on what exactly return plans could be for Alexa Bliss. But she's such a unique character, and she's in such a good spot that there's so many different routes to take her in. And most of those routes are all things we've touched on over the last few weeks. But you could have Alexa Bliss return as an ally to the Uncle Howdy and Wyatt Six. Howdy and Alexa have a bit of a complicated friendship dating back to 2022, so there's something to build on there. Obviously, you can't forget that Alexa Bliss has a pretty close connection to the Wyatt universe in recent years. So the idea of her pairing up with the Wyatt Six would not feel forced. It would feel pretty logical and understandable. But on the flip side, Alexa could stand on the opposite side of the Wyatt Six and actually turn against them. Karrion Kross is currently at battle with Uncle Howdy in a deep feud. That's sort of like an intense chess match right now. Both leaders are making careful and well-calculated moves with every step they take against each other. And what better way for Karrion Kross to really pull the rug from under Uncle Howdy than by revealing to him that he has Alexa Bliss at his camp, and how she's more than willing to help Kross point out Howdy's weaknesses and take down the Wyatt Six. The other route is a simple singles run for Alexa Bliss. No immediate affiliation to the Wyatts or any other faction, just on her own. Maybe just her and Lily, and she's targeting a certain list of people. Alexa Bliss going after Liv Morgan sounds like a pretty intriguing non-title feud. Alexa and Liv were close friends on television in 2022, but a lot of time has passed, and obviously both women are much different individuals than they were back then. So a feud examining all those differences and having Alexa come after Liv Morgan could be a good story. She may not have any exact ties to the Wyatts in this hypothetical, but maybe Alexa Bliss would still share similar worldviews and beliefs to the Wyatts. Maybe she doesn't like the person Liv Morgan has become, and that's why she has to step in and try to find out for herself if the old Liv Morgan is in there somewhere. That would be something fun to explore. And the other route is something we discussed earlier this week, and that's the world title aspirations for Alexa Bliss. Maybe Rhea Ripley has a big target on her back for the returning Alexa Bliss, and she wants a piece of that world title gold. It's such a highly anticipated return, and it's going to be so much fun to dive back into the world of Alexa Bliss and break down her stories, especially if the character remains rich and keeps all those elements that made her one of the most intriguing characters in recent years. There's still no word on how the rollout will be handled for Alexa's return. There's been no reports about any vignettes being filmed, so we can probably not expect to see a detailed rollout like the one that took place for the Wyatt Six. But hopefully we do see something that's simple, yet still significant enough to build even more hype. Even if it's something like the Penta teasers, and a rollout like that, which grew bigger and bigger by the week. Maybe tease it even with some hidden backstage Easter eggs. All WWE really has to do is just put a Lily doll laying down in the background of some segments, and the community would absolutely lose their mind over that just alone. But it's a really exciting time for Alexa Bliss fans. We're right there, about to finally see the return take place in WWE. Let's get into some updates for Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. It hasn't been made official yet, but Roman Reigns appears to have quietly been shifted over to Raw, at least to open up 2025. He had his big tribal combat match on the Raw Netflix premiere, and his next Raw appearance is already set in stone. During a backstage segment, Paul Heyman told Roman Reigns about how they should set up a ceremony to celebrate his big victory. Roman selected the date of January 27th, which will be an episode of Monday Night Raw. Telling by the brief interaction there between Roman and Paul, it sounds like this segment for Roman on the January 27th edition of Raw will be an acknowledgement ceremony, where members of the family will honor him as the undisputed tribal chief. Surely the OG Bloodline should be there, since the majority of them are Raw superstars, but Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline members are the ones that are a bit questionable to appear at this ceremony. Just a few days before the tribal combat match, Solo Sikoa did give Paul Heyman his word that he would honor the results of the match, and if Roman did win, Solo would acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief again. But Solo Sikoa, being the slimy heel character that he is, it's definitely a bit difficult to take him up on his word there. So it's unknown if he will honor that outcome and do what he said he would do, or if he's just going to distance himself from Roman. But looking at this segment under the hypothetical scenario of Solo Sikoa honoring his word, that could be a quite scary sight for truly anyone outside of the Bloodline, because it will be a ceremony of Roman Reigns coming back into full power, potentially stronger than ever before. Just a few months ago, Roman Reigns didn't have a single soul standing by his side, but imagine if he has the OG Bloodline, plus now the new Bloodline, all bending the knee and acknowledging Roman as the tribal chief. That would give Roman Reigns 6 family soldiers at his disposal, ready to do anything for him, which is the most soldiers he's had in all of his years of being the tribal chief. So with Sami, Jade, Jimmy, Solo, Jacob, and Tama all under his control, the question now becomes, will Roman be able to rightfully maintain all this new power, or will all this newly found power corrupt him again and lead back towards the early Thunderdome tribal chief days? It's very unlikely that WWE would just give Roman's character that much power, but it's just something fun to discuss because it would be insane. And seeing something like that take place would probably make other superstars like Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens go absolutely insane, because they predicted Roman would go mad with power again, and that's what they've been trying to both stop in recent weeks. So if that happens, a lot of people would owe Drew and Kevin a pretty big apology. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.